Babies are almost by definition the most vulnerable members of any species. They need a great deal of attention, care, and protection as they grow and develop, or else they just wouldn't last on their own. It's always important they have someone or something to look after them. When one Utah family found a helpless kitten outside their vacation home the morning after a huge snowstorm, they thought he was a goner. The poor thing was frozen stiff, and the family was devastated. But then something strange happened to its body. One Thanksgiving morning in Garden City, Utah, the Bingham family awoke to find nearly a foot of snow on the ground outside their vacation home. Wintry weather usually didn't come that early in the season, so the children were excited. As soon as they stepped outside, however, that all changed. The kids ran outside to play, but they stopped and stared in horror. There was a kitten in the snow several feet from their porch, and the poor thing was frozen solid. They called for their mother and Uncle Brandon, who immediately ran outside. Surely, there was no saving the kitten's life. Or was there? Surprisingly, the kitten wasn't dead. Still, they couldn't leave it out there. Brendan immediately scooped up the kitten in his gloves and headed to the front door with the rest of the Binghams in tow. Brendan was followed closely by the kid's mother, who was equally as concerned for the kitten's safety. She had no idea where the poor feline came from, but she knew time wasn't on their side if they were going to save his life. Brendan didn't hesitate at all once he entered the home. He headed straight for the living room fireplace in hopes the warmth would breathe some energy into the motionless feline. Brendan gave the frozen kitten to his brother, Justin, who crouched down in front of the fireplace. There were still embers glowing from inside, and he carefully held the kitten close to the heat that was emanating from the charred wood. Justin, who had taken several veterinarian classes in school, flipped the kitten belly side up. He used his fingers to support the cat's neck and then lightly administered chest compressions with his thumb. Would it work? Justin needed to do more. He performed gentle CPR on the animal for nearly an hour before wrapping him in a warm towel. The family desperately hoped that both the CPR and warmth would keep the kitten going. The children's mother then gathered the kitten in her arms and softly stroked his head. Even though over an hour had passed, the family refused to give up hope. It wasn't time to quit just yet. The family built a makeshift bed for the kitten using a cardboard box and a towel. If the kitten was going to pull through, they wanted him to feel comfortable in a warm, enclosed space. The family then had another idea. What would happen if they placed small pieces of food in front of the cat's mouth? They hoped the smell of the food would stir up some kind of response. The family kept dropping tiny bits of food in front of the kitten's nose, but he sat nearly motionless on the towel. The children were terrified the kitten's unresponsiveness meant trouble, until suddenly the cat opened his eyes and started to slowly squirm around. The family was astonished. For over an hour, he was pretty motionless, but now he was finally coming to life. It was a miracle. The Bingham family could not get over how the kitten, whom they named Lazarus, pulled through after such an ordeal. Thankfully, one of the family's cousins agreed to adopt him, so he would have a forever home. So what was life like for Lazarus? Well, he absolutely loved every minute of it, especially the holiday seasons and all the presents under the tree. Isn't that everyone's favorite part of the holidays? Just look at these awesome gifts his new family gave to him. You might think that after such a harrowing ordeal in the snow, Lazarus wouldn't be inclined to go anywhere near the white stuff again. However, Lazarus wasn't your ordinary cat. Not long after his recovery, he was back outside again, conquering the snow like the brave cat he was. Of course, his new owners made sure he didn't play in the cold for too long, considering his history with wintry weather. Although Lazarus enjoyed spending time running through the soft snow, he especially liked to take walks when the weather was warm. His owners simply placed him on a leash and took him out for strolls around their neighborhood. After a long day, Lazarus loved curling up in a warm bed next to his owners. He snuggled up close with a different member of his family each night. Everyone got to enjoy his company. Even though Lazarus couldn't express it in words, he truly loved his new home. There was no telling if he remembered his brush with death, but his new family made sure the rest of his life was nothing but great memories. Thank goodness they didn't give up on this little frozen kitten. Happy endings are always awesome.